Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji Salok Sant Udran Dayalang Asarang Gopal Kirtanah Nirmalang Sant Sangen Ot Nanak Parameshwara Chandan Chand Na Sard Rut Mool na Mitei Kaam Seetal Thi Vai Nanaka ਜਪੰਦੜੋ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਪੌੜੀ ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਕੀ ਓਟ ਉਦਰੇ ਸਗਲ ਜਨ ਸੁਣ ਪ੍ਰਤਾਪ ਗੋਵਿੰਦ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਭੈ ਮਨ ਟੋਟ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਮੂਲ ਸੰਚਿਆ ਨਾਮ ਧਨ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਸਿਓ ਸੰਗ ਪਾਈਐ ਵੱਡਾ ਪੁੰਨ ਆਠ ਪਹਿਰ ਹਰ ਧਿਆਏ ਹਰ ਜਸ ਨਿਤ ਸੁਨ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਸਿਓ ਸੰਗ ਪਾਈਐ ਵੱਡੇ ਪੁੰਨ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਸਿਓ ਸੰਗ ਪਾਈਐ ਵੱਡੇ ਪੁੰਨ ਆਠ ਪਹਿਰ ਹਰ ਧਿਆਏ ਹਰ ਜਸ ਨਿਤ ਸੁਨ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ today's ਪਾਵਨ ਪਿੱਤਰ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ from Sachkhand Sri Harmandir Sahib is an Ang 709 blessed to us by ਧੰਨ Sri Guru Arjun Dev Ji Padshah Ji. Today Padshah Ji is saying to us in this salok Sant Udran Dayalang. Guru Sahib Ji is saying that a Sant is that Sant are those whose hearts are filled with daya, with compassion. Compassion, Sangat Ji, when you see somebody suffering and there's just this overwhelming energy that wells up inside of you, this emotion of wanting to eliminate and take that suffering away from that person. That is called compassion, something that happens to the inside of us. And then Padshah Ji saying, can this Sant Udran Dayalang, Sants are those that save people. They save people from where? They save people from their compassion. ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਦਇਆ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦਾ ਉਧਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, that's what makes somebody so saintly. Is this when they've got this emotion welling up inside of them. It's there, it's active. And when they are exposed, when they see, when they come to hear, when they come to see, or from that inner knowing, when they know where there is somebody suffering and it's in their capability. Because they see themselves to be responsible. What does that mean? They see themselves that it is their responsibility. But upon their capabilities, they take on certain duties to save certain people in certain situations. And what I mean by that is, Sangat Ji, everybody has got a uniqueness about them from inside. And that uniqueness about them from inside, some people touch people's lives in different ways. Some people have come into this world and their uniqueness is that they've been blessed with a sweet voice. And when they come to sing the Guru's word, they are able to touch others' hearts. So in that way, their compassion is in that way to awaken and to eliminate and to take away others' pain and suffering through their singing. Because that is their uniqueness. For somebody else, Sangat Ji, it is they've got the ability to be able to articulate words which are soothing to somebody else. They've got a way with being able to listen and understand someone. And they're able to understand the patterns of what is happening within their mind, and they're able to then express their compassion in that way through being able to articulate something with sweetness and with kindness and healing and helping and saving udaran and saving somebody in that way. Because there is not only one way. There are those that are healing the suffering of somebody's mind through because they haven't got enough food to eat. Of not having enough food to eat, they are healing them in that way, providing them food. And through providing them with that food, they are providing that kindness through that distribution, and they're expressing their compassion in that way, and that is helping somebody. Suffering to be eliminated, because their suffering is bound to hunger, to not having enough food. Just like Paach is saying, Dukh vichoda ek dukh bhookh. Paach saying that Dukh vichoda ek dukh bhookh. That there is a type of suffering which is bound to hunger. And Sangat Ji Paach saying, Santu udaran dayalang. It's because they have that compassion inside of them. Everybody has the ability to experience compassion inside of them, but for some, it's sitting there a little dormant. And we need the right environment, right situation to open that door inside of us. Where our heart is at times closed and there is no perfect one-way answer to say this is what will open it, this is what will open it. We have to become more in touch and more aware of starting to see and realize what is it that is working for me, what is it that is opening my heart more. Sangat Ji Sant Udaran Dayalang Asarang Gopal Kirtana. What is it that a Sant does? How does a Sant save somebody? A saintly being, how do they save somebody? Through their compassion. They give them a true asara, a true support. They give them the asarang. Asarang means support. They give them the support. Asarang Gopal Kirtana. They give them the support of praising that one, that Vaheguru Ji. Sangat Ji, there's somebody that could be sitting and they could be actually playing the right notes on a vajja, on a harmonium. Somebody could be hitting the right strings, be on a rabab, be on a Sangat Ji dil rabab, be on a suranda, on a sauranda. It doesn't matter, Sangat Ji, what the instrument may be, and they're playing it correctly accordingly to the way it should be played, hitting the right notes. Sangat Ji, which that, and then somebody is singing the words of the Guru. But that doesn't necessarily mean they are doing kirti, they are actually praising Akal Purkh Ji. Because somebody thinks that when we hear the word kirtana, doing kirtan of Gopal, of that one, that go means this, tarti means this earth. Pal, the one that is the protector of this earth, those that sing the praises of the protector of this world. Paach Ji saying that the sants are those that give, that save people, that are drowning in attachment and ego. They give them the sahara, they give them the asara of kirtan. Sangat Ji, because remember, if Sadhguru Ji Sache Paach Ji was only here referring to that kirtan that is done with an instrument, when we sing the Guru's Bani, We know that Sache Paatji in their own Bani, they say to us, Koi gaave ragi nadi bedi baho pant kar nahi har har pijay ram raje. Paatji saying koi, it could be anyone they're saying. Koi meaning that there's somebody that is singing, koi gava is singing. Ragi here with a bindi on the Bihari saying Ragi means through rags. Somebody is singing in through rags. And then Paatji is saying kende koi gave Ragi. Rag Sangji being through certain types of melodies. A simple way of explaining it. Koi gave Ragi Nadi. And Sangji Nadi is then the instruments. Somebody's singing through a certain way of rags, but somebody's then playing an instrument. Be it that the rabab or the dilruba or the harmonium, whichever instrument that is, that we even deem to be very sacred instruments. But nadi, the sounds, nad means sound, the sounds that are created from instruments. Kende koi gava, ragi, nadi, bedi. And what do? Some are singing. In which way? Through the bedi. Bedi means through the different scriptures. And looking at the scriptures and the knowledge from them. And then Paatji saying, kende kahan lage kende har har nahi har har pijay ram raje. But they may not be drenched in love from inside for that one. Kirtan Sangat Ji is that. I could just say some very simple words, not in the right tune, not in the rag, not with an instrument, not looking at any scriptures, but somebody may be able to just say some plain, simple words, but in those words is that love inside from the heart, and he's truly expressing their praise for Vaheguru. That's what it means to actually praise, to do the kirti of Gopal, when it comes from deep inside. Instruments are just an aid to help evoke something inside of us so that we truly praise that one. Singing in rag in certain melodies, singing in those ways, they are just an aid. They are railings, a means of getting somewhere, so that it can well up that true praise inside of us. They are just a help. They are just a guide. But somebody could be doing all of that but not have that love inside. But somebody could have that love inside by doing that too. That could have been their guide. That could have become their guide, and it's helped them. Sangatji, praising that one is something that is done from inside. It could be done with no words, it could be done with words. But when that inside is saying that Vah, 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 Vaheguru, there's truly nobody, there is no other like you. That you are such that when I come to even that little ayata worth of experience of you, people say about you, Vaheguru, that sun vadda aakha sab koi. Kende that people sun vadda aakha sab koi. People hear about you from other people. Sun ke kise to sun liya, tu bahut vadda ya. Somebody's heard that you're so great. They've heard from somebody else. Sun vadda aakhe sab koi. And everybody's saying it. Oh wow, Vaheguru Ji is so great. But Satguru Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatji kende ke vad. But how great you truly are. Ke vad vadda. How great you truly are. Ke vad vadda. dita hoye. Only when I see you, not with these eyes, but the eyes of wisdom. With that inner eye, when I experience you, do I truly know how immense you are, how great you are. सच्चे पातशाह जी सिंह कहते कीमत पाए ना कहया जाए. You cannot be valued. Nobody could put a value on you to say this is what your worth is. कीमत पाए ना कहया जाए. It cannot be said. कहते कहने वाले तेरे रह समाए. कहते but what can happen? कहने वाले, as somebody is trying to describe you, as somebody is trying to say how great and amazing you are, as somebody saying Vah, Vah, as the inside is truly from your core is saying Vah, wow, Vaheguru. And then Sangat ji, what will happen? Kende कहने वाले तेरे रह समाए. Reh samaye. What will happen? Kende they remain then completely absorbed in you. But if it's coming from inside, if it's not coming from there, then we'll just for a little moment we'll say yeah, you're great, and then it'll come back to can't believe you done this to my life. I can't believe you took such and such away from me. I can't believe you gave me this disease. What kiya dushmani mere naal? What enmity have you got with me? And then all of that starts. Somebody could have done the greatest kirtan that you could ever imagine. Somebody could have just, sat there and sang so beautifully, but they've come off that harmonium, they've come off that vajja, and they've turned around and they've said, oh my God, is that it? Is that all I'm gonna get? Is that all the money that I'm gonna get for doing this? Vaheguru, I can't believe that you would do this to me. You know that I need more money. Why would you just only give me this much through these people's hands? They've only paid me this much to do kirtan. Vaheguru, you should know better. You know that I need to buy such and such thing. They've just done kirtan. Pyareo, asal vich innu kirtan nahi kiya janda. The truth is that kirtan is when your state of mind becomes in constant praise of that one. So Sangat ji, let's go back to Sadhguru ji Sache Paatshah ji Shabad, where they're saying to us that Sant Udran Dayalang Asrang Gopal Kirtanah Kande Nirmalang Sant Sangain. The truth is, when we're in the company of such saints, that those whose hearts are filled with compassion, those whose true asra support is the praise of Vaheguru ji. Sangat ji, when we're in their company, what happens to us? Nirmalang Sad Sangain. We become nirmalang, we become pure. This mind has been traveling with janam janam ki is man ko mal lagi kala hua sya. Path saying that janam janam ki is man ko mal lagi. Path is saying that it's been so many lifetimes where I've been accumulating so much mal, dirt, filth that has been coming and sitting on my mind. Sangat ji, if you think of the mind to be like a mirror, and a mirror's job is to reflect an object that comes before it. Let's say that again, a mirror's job is to reflect an object that comes before it. Sangat ji, the mirror, our mind is like a mirror. And when we have a dirty mirror, if there's a mirror that has been neglected, if there is a mirror that has been left to collect dust, if there is a mirror that we use every day, we brush our teeth in front of it, but then all those little splashes of the paste, of the toothpaste and everything else, be it blowing our nose, whatever we're doing in front of that mirror, somebody's getting ready, using their makeup, whatever it is, all of that, there's dust in the room, all that goes and collects on that mirror. And eventually that mirror isn't able to then do its job. Eventually you're trying to just look through and see, can I see myself? But you don't think about cleaning the dirt off the mirror, which was going to allow you to be able to see your reflection. And what happens is, Sangat Ji, that eventually comes a point when you can't see yourself in there at all. There is no reflection to be seen within that mirror. In that same way, Sangat Ji, are we. In the same way, Sangat Ji, is our mind. When we don't take care of this mind, when we start to live unconsciously, when we start to live in unawareness, not realizing that every time we slander, every time we bring somebody down, every time we speak of somebody in such a way that we bring them down in the eyes of others, by building up lies against them, exaggeration from the truth, not realizing we're not able to see clearly in that moment. But the more sensitive you become, you can start to see these things clearly too. And so what happens is that you start to then create that dust, that dirt upon the mirror mind. The mind being like the mirror, now you start through slander. Through jealousy, you see somebody. Jealousy comes from duality. When you see that separation, when you want to be above somebody else, when you're trying to protect your ego, your own identity, and then you're trying to keep up your pride and you want to be better than somebody else, and then out of that, then you have that jealousy for somebody else, for where somebody else is in their life. You look at how somebody's done well, where it may be in your mind, you're looking at somebody that has become wealthy. You're looking at somebody that is now has beat their depression, and you're still there, and you start to, and what happens is these things happen, and then your mind starts to fill with jealousy and starts to say, why are they there? And from that then comes an ill thought. From jealousy then comes an ill thought. Why? How? What? Jata mera kuch ban jave. Either that's something that I'm able to be where they are, or then they lose what they've got. You might not say it straight out, but there's that subtle voice inside that is speaking that. And sometimes you hear that voice and you say, oh, be quiet. Why are you saying that? This state, it takes over, this jealousy, and not realizing that's a bit more that toothpaste, the splashbacks covering them. That's the dirt of that dust that is gathering of jealousy upon the mirror mind that is like that mirror, and it's all collecting janam ki. But the thing is, it's been going on for many lifetimes. Janam ki is man ko mal lagi. It's filled with this mal, with this dirt. And what happens when this mind is filled with that dirt, Sangat Ji? What happens is we're not able to then reflect the truth from this mind. The truth is Vaheguru, is that Jyot, is Parmeshwar, is our creator, is that what some refer to as God, some refer to as pure consciousness, the divine, whatever it may be. Guru Sahib Ji's used multiple names. These are some new names. It doesn't matter. But that's our core. That's the truth behind us. But a dirty mind, will not be able to reflect the truth. The truth is Vaheguru Sat Naam, whose name is true. That existence that is still, that existence that is constant, that existence that is anand, is forever bliss. Once the mind starts to get cleansed, and that's what a sant does. A sant lives in a true saint whose heart is filled with compassion and love. They have this awareness. They're able to see where somebody else's mind is at. They can see what you need to work on and what you need to start stripping away. They help us to start removing layers of ego, the layers that have been built from, that is restraining us from realizing what we actually are, from experiencing our true self. As they start to strip those layers away one by one, the sant does, a saint is able to have that, they've got that awareness and is able to see that. They're able to start taking away that jealousy, that judgment on other people, looking down at somebody else, always looking for faults in others. They spot that. Then they give us ways of how to start removing that. They give us chuktiyan. Pachaji is saying that, if we come back to the Shabad Sangat Ji, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਿਰਮਲੰ ਸੰਤ ਸੰਗੇਣ ਓਟ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਵਰ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ then once that mirror, that mind is starting to be cleansed, is starting to be cleaned, when they remove that jealousy from us, when they remove that hatred from our mind, and the mind starts to then shine, and then it's like a clear mirror, and then it starts to reflect what? Ot Nanak Parameshwara, the truth of what we actually are. Chandan Chandana Sardarut Pachi Singh, it doesn't matter. You can go and apply sandalwood paste. These are all aids for some people in some form of way, but it doesn't mean that this is the destination. Kende Chandan Chand, the moon, Chand, the full moon, a full lit moon night. Kende Sardarut, a winter's going through a winter season. Kende none of these moolna mitei kaam, not even a little, not even, they said mool means not at all is it going to take away your inner burning of desires and jealousy for others. What is it then? They can Seetal Thive Nanka Japandaro Haranam. But what gives us that soothness from inside is Seetal Thive Nanka. Is that Japandaro is when you recite the name of God, meaning when you remove the layers of ego, of being stuck in those false identifications of the self. I am, this is me, this color. Then you protect that color, and then you look down at other people that aren't that color. Naam is when you connect to that one from inside, and that layer is removed. That layer is removed when you go deeper and deeper into your core, into who you are. And you start to then feel soothed, because it was the layers of ego that was burning you. Seetal Thive Nanaka Japandro Harnam Paudi Charn Kamal Ki Ot Udre Sagal Jan. Whoever takes the support of those lotus feet of that one, that true one, that is constant. Can they Udre Sagal Jan? Can they, whoever becomes a servant of that one, can they will be saved. Sun Pratap Govind, can they those that hear the true glory of that one, their minds become completely fearless. Tot na ave mool sanchya naam dhan passing tot na ave mool. Can they not even a little bit, then any shortcomings come into their life, sanchya naam dhan, because they have now accumulated the wealth of God's name. Can they sant janasyon संग पाइए वड्डे पुन कहंदे संत जना स्यो संग. When we go into the company of those drenched ones that are filled with compassion, पाइए वड्डे पुन, how do we get to go there? Is with great fortune, with great pon Sangat Ji. When we've done some form of, we've done something positive and good in our life to get us there. Aat pahar har tiaye. Sangat Ji, yesterday I was sat down with somebody going through some sort of issues and whatever pains and sufferings in their life. And I said that, you know, for us to be sat here together and even have this conversation and speak about the Guru's word, and for you to even have that little embracive openness to the Guru's word and having that experience of even understanding it to whatever level, said you are blessed. You've done something in your life to get to this point, to even though whatever you're going through, but not every member, not everyone involved in that situation was able to sit in that place. But there was a couple that was able to sit there, a couple of people. And they could only sit there to embrace the Guru's word. Santa Janasyo sang, because Santa Jana, the servants of God. Sangat Ji, the servants of God, that Bani, if anybody's able to embrace it and they're able to think, oh wow, it only happens with Paiye Vadepun. Vadepun Nanal, you've done something great. No matter what you're going through, but you've done something great to have been able to listen to the Guru's word and the glory of that one. Aat pahar har tiaye har jas nit sun. Sangat Ji, aat pahar har tiaye. It's not going to work if we just are in meditation of that one only for a little few moments. It's when we're going to experience that true soothing, that true anand from inside is going to come from Aat Pahar Har Tyaye, when it becomes all 8 sections of the day. That's what Aat Pahar means. Every moment of our life, when we're then meditating on that one. Har Jas Nit Sun, when we're every moment listening to the praise of that one and no slander of that one. Every time we say to that one, you should not, I can't believe you did this to me. That is slandering of that one. Praising of that one is saying that you are so great and constant that there's something that has caused for this suffering, for me to have this suffering within my mind. And you are so amazing that you are so constant, and you give me pain to give me that indication that I'm actually getting further away from my truth. That means my mirror is getting dirtier. The more we are suffering within the mind, it's a indication that my mind is getting dirtier. It's something I'm doing to put dirt upon this mind. But the moment this mind starts to clear and it starts to work from a place of these beautiful qualities such as compassion, then eventually it will start to reflect the truth, which is the form of sukh. So Sangat Ji, itniyan ka bentiyan pravan karniyan, ek nahi par aneka hi galtiyan ho giyan han. अनजान बच्चा समझ के बख्श देना. सतगुरु जी गरीब नवाज सच्चे पातशाह जी किरपा करे आपा अपने सबना ते सानू इहो जी गुरमुखां दी महापुरखां दी संगत बख्श देन कि अपना अंदरों ठंडा हो सके, आपा उस वाहिगुरू नाल जुड़ सकीए, So Sangat Ji, the takeaway and the benti today for me, and those of you that connect to it can take it away as well, is that may I be blessed to be in the company of such great beings whose hearts are filled with compassion, so that they are able to support me in cleaning this dirty mind, which will then give me the true support, and when then my mind becoming pure will start to reflect the image of anand, bliss, where I then start to experience constant joy within myself. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji